to talk to you a little bit today about planting in old fields, particularly former agricultural croplands or even pastures where there was livestock grazing going on. You know, most of the seedlings that are planted in the U.S. South every year are in cutover lands where we conduct reforestation. Like if you can see the area behind me is a mature stand of loblolly pine, and when it's cut we replant it about a year or a year and a half later after site preparation, we refer to that as reforestation. But there's also a substantial amount of land that is converted from those agricultural fields and pastures to trees, and that's a practice that we refer to as afforestation. And a lot of times, you know, we see a pretty field like I'm standing in right now, and we think that it's going to be just completely ideal for planting a beautiful stand of trees. But a lot of times, because of the years of farming that have taken place on the field, we have a lot of compacted soils, what we refer to as a hard pan, that may be below. And so what I wanted to show you today is an instrument that's actually called a penetrometer, or a soil compaction tester is also another name it's referred to. This is an agritronics model that I actually ordered from forestry suppliers. They even give you a manual on exactly how to use it step by step, so it's very user friendly. And what it allows you to do is go out and check that compaction level before you ever plant the seedlings, so that you can make sure that when you plant them, you probably need to do subsoiling anyway, but at least you can be sure. But the subsoiling is probably going to be necessary to break up the hard pan, but this is just a way that can verify that for you. And too often we go out and we visit former fields or pastures that have problems with tree growth, and a lot of times it's because they're planted in very old compacted fields and they have problems with root development. And so this instrument actually helps you determine that before you ever plant your seedlings, and so you can successfully launch that new stand without any problems. So this is the Agritronics soil compaction tester, and it's such an easy instrument to use. Essentially, when you apply pressure into the soil layer, green is good and red is bad. And pretty early on, you can see if you've got a problem just by applying even pressure with both hands on both of these bars. And it'll give you a very quick answer whether or not you have a problem with soil compaction and need to do something like subsoiling before you ever plant your seedlings. So it's just an extremely useful tool. I carry it around with me all the time in the back of my vehicle. And so this is just one of those critical steps. You know, too often we go out and we say, what's wrong with my seedlings? Why didn't they grow? And it's not necessarily the seedling or the plant. It can be a problem with soil conditions, soil texture. So a situation that we can remediate if we know ahead of time what to do. Another thing I always recommend is to take the pH of the soil, because of maybe past chemicals that were used in association with farming, or maybe lime that was used in an old pasture. And you always want, for southern yellow pine, for that range to be in about 5.5 to 6.2. And again, this is something you want to do before you ever plant your trees, so that you initiate that stand in the most successful way.